Force is with you, young Skywalker. But you are not a Jedi yet.
Hi, this is Jason with Violator Comics Collectibles, coming at you with another toy review. And this time we're taking a look at the Star Wars Rogue One Darth Vader figure. And this is from the Star Wars Rogue One toy line from Hasbro from 2016. So the first thing we're going to do is take a closer look at the packaging. Alright, so take a look at the packaging. Really nice packaging. Very similar to the Force Awakens packaging, which I'll actually show in a second. But in the upper right hand corner you have the Death Trooper, which is kind of like the new exciting thing. Looks fantastic. A lot of the marketing is based on that and stuff. So you got a nice face of him. It's a Star Wars Rogue One. It doesn't say Rogue One, a Star Wars story, or a surprise, which is actually the official title for the movie. But it has a really nice picture of Darth Vader. It looks absolutely fantastic. And then you have the nice open window that shows Darth Vader with his lightsaber, and he has a firing projectile. On the front, it also advertises that it has an app that looks like you can make videos and add special effects in on with your action figures. It looks pretty cool. You just download the app from the App Store, and then you can see. So it looks really nice. And as we take a look at the front real quick, we'll just compare it to. Here is a Kylo Ren figure. Let's see if I can get him to stand without putting anything behind him. And you can kind of see how similar they look. I mean, they look really similar. They got the red backgrounds behind the figures. The shape of the pack is exactly the same. It's just, they just changed the Star Wars, The Force Awakens with the Rogue One and took Kylo Ren's face out and put that Death Trooper on there. I mean, even the way they did the writing and stuff looks exactly the same. But moving on to the back. So this is probably the most unexciting back to a figure I've ever seen, ever. I said it in a lot of my reviews for the Force Awakens, that the bland packaging of the Force Awakens figures. This is even worse. It doesn't show any kind of other figures in the toy line. It's just, it has a tiny picture of Darth Vader with this microscopic writing which talks about Darth Vader. It shows a picture advertising the app, which is really the only picture you get other than Darth Vader's face. A little bit talks about the app, and then it's just a whole bunch of the writing. I mean, it's so bland. I mean, the Force Awakens stuff was really bland, and here we have that package again. You can see it just looks bland, but at least it advertises through the other figures in this set, and it shows like what the his little gimmick thing was. I mean, so even this, which I thought was awful, looks better than the current packaging. It's just a lot of mumbo jumbo and writing. It's just, for a toy, you expect to see like other toys in the toy line, which I was kind of disappointed for. But this is probably the most exciting figure, that I was waiting for. I love Darth Vader. He's my favorite character in the Star Wars universe, so getting him from Rogue One is fantastic. And this is from Wave 2. But let's get this guy opened up. Alright, so taking a look at Darth Vader. So overall, a really, really nice figure. Much better, I think, than the Force Awakens one. I will probably do a comparison against these guys, but he definitely does have his flaws. So first off, the face mold looks really, really good. His mask is done really well. Everything looks fantastic. They even did it where he's just not just standing perfectly straight, where he's kind of has one of his legs out, so his little lower cloak is kind of, you know, almost like he's kind of moving a little bit, which I really like. Look like they did that in the new Kylo Ren figure they released in this toy line as well. So I like that it's just not plain and symmetrical. I like that they kind of did something different. You know, and then it's Darth Vader. We've gotten 1,000 Darth Vader figures. The lightsaber's done really well and painted really well. I mean, overall he looks good. The one difference, you know, that this guy looks like it's supposed to be that way, I can't just tell if it's just maybe not painted weird, but it definitely looks like on the over the shoulder armor that he does. So he's supposed to have the cloak like he does in the in episode 4, where he looks a little bit different, where he actually has his chest armor is under his cloak. It looks like they've done it here. I zoomed in a little bit closer, but it's really hard to see that, you know, really know is that just the way they painted it, but it does look like that continues all the way down, or at least painted that way, which is supposed to be nice. So you know, this is the same as the Star Wars The Force Awakens figures. They have, you know, 5 ports of articulation, you know. I'm sorry, well, this guy actually has 6. So he's got his head, so he's got the 1, both arms, so 2, 3. He does move at the waist, which is better than most of the Force Awakens figures, and then he moves at his legs. And then we take a look at the back, and you can take his cape off, which looks really nice. And, you know, a nice looking figure. But there are some downsides to this guy. So obviously the points of articulation are, you know, a pretty big downside. A lot of people don't like that. You know, they went back in time. And then we have the way his hand is molded. There's no rotation of the wrist. This is like the best you can really have him hold his lightsaber, which looks silly. He does have a nice molded like force grip hand that he can choke people out with, which I do like that. Probably the biggest downfall for me for this figure is just sloppiness. There is a piece on his helmet that's, you know, there's like lots of jagged edges and stuff, and there's pieces on his helmet, this guy in particular, almost like where they molded him and they didn't, you know, do it correctly. I mean, he just got like this little circle thing where it looks like they probably injected all the plastic and stuff, and you can see it right there, and it's rough, right? I don't know what they were thinking. It looks really bad. You can actually see it sticking out to the side, just kind of cheaply done. That, you know, they weren't really watching as far as product control. I don't know if this is a one-off or if there's a lot of them like that, but that's unfortunate, you know, to see that kind of stuff, especially when you pay $8 for a figure. So you also come to the little accessory, which is a projectile. I don't know if this is supposed to be like the force push, or I don't know what this is supposed to be. It's basically just a missile. He can actually hold this, even though it makes him where he couldn't stand because the weight. But you put his arm in here, and he can actually hold this. And then it's just like, you know, most missiles in any kind of toy, but it shoots out. So nice little gimmick. I mean, it's okay. I like projectiles and stuff. This one's actually kind of cool. It's, you know, rubbery, and it's got a missile, and you can actually, you know, separate it. So it's not too bad. I do like that they included that. I think it's a little better than some of the stuff they did with The Force Awakens, but not too bad. And like I said, he really can't hold it and stand at the same time. And here's that chest thing again, just to give you a closer look while I actually talk about it. It looks like this piece right here kind of continues down like it's supposed to. But it's hard to say, like, is that supposed to be, you know, you can see when you look at it, I mean, at first glance it looks like just the chest armor, but then when you really kind of look closer, it does look like there's actually a continuation, like it's supposed to be cloth over that, which would be, you know, correct to the, you know, episode 4, but, you know, in the trailers it looks like Darth Vader doesn't have that, so I don't know if this is going to be something later in the film, or if this is just, maybe I'm just looking at this figure wrong, but we'll really have to see once the movie comes out. And for size comparison, here we have the Rogue One Darth Vader next to the Force Awakens Kylo Ren. Now the Kylo Ren that I'm showing is the 3 3/4 inch Kylo Ren with better articulation, and you can see he has that cloth bottom, and that's kind of what I wanted to show, you know, compare these two. So, you know, this is a good Darth Vader figure. This is not a great Darth Vader figure. This is not an amazing Darth Vader figure. I mean, obviously it needs more articulation, and it really needs something extra, like, you know, like a cloth cape or something, like the cloth under cape, something to give it that extra pop. I mean, just like this Kylo Ren figure here. I mean, it's got the more articulation, it's got that cloth. It just looks so much better when you compare it to the rest of the other Kylo Ren figures. So it's unfortunate, you know, it's just with these 3 3/4 inch figures now, there's less articulation. like I said, at least they're doing the waist. A lot of the other figures didn't have even waist articulation in The Force Awakens, so it's nice that they added that extra thing of articulation. But not a bad figure. I mean, if you don't have a Darth Vader figure, the molding looks fantastic, you know, as the overall look of him. They don't make him look bad at all. Other than like on this current figure, there's some like edge issues where it just wasn't molded correctly. But really, really, really nice figure. I wonder if they're going to do a Black Series Darth Vader. They already did during the Force Awakens for the 3 3/4 inch Walmart exclusive. So it'll be interesting to see if they redo one for the Force or for the Rogue One. But we'll have to see. I don't know if they're really going to do that. But not a bad figure at all. And once again, this has been Jason with Violator Comics Collectibles. Any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and I'll see you guys next time.